Good morning, No Nothing Cook coming to you from the No Nothing Kitchen. And today we got a classic, an oldie but classic. I've been getting a lot of requests from a few friends on doing this, and I really didn't want to do it until the winter comes because with the summer. But today's a rainy day and we kind of canceled our plans, so I said, you know what? I've been getting pressured from my mother, my dear mother that you met, that the Bochi Club wants her sauce. So she asked me to make the sauce for them because she says, I'm a little bit too old. I'd rather you make it. You can make a big pot. I can make a big pot. I don't think I've ever made a sauce more than two quarts at one time. But anyways, well, I didn't know how to attack this. And I figured maybe the best way would be to make one batch and then once that batch was done, kind of just incorporate everything into that batch and take it from there. So what we're going to do with this one here is going to be a pork one. It's an old classic one from our family. Usually it's like 2 pork chops, but I think there's 9 or 10 here. What I did is I put them on the stove. They're very thin, so under high heat, seared them real good. Not real good, but brown. And they didn't have to cook on the inside because they're going to cook in the sauce. So normally it would just be 2, and then in the pan, 2 cloves of garlic minced, 1 onion minced, diced, minced, and we're going to saute them real quick. I'll add 2 quarts of tomato sauce. I kind of buy the tomato sauce now. It's cheaper than making it, and I'll look for the one that's just says tomato paste, water, puree, whatever, blah blah. And I don't really want the flavoring in it. I'll make my own flavoring. And let me get the stove turned on with a little bit of olive oil. I'll saute the onions and garlic for a couple of seconds, and then I will add the cans of tomato paste or tomato sauce, and I will throw two pieces of meat in there and cook that up, and then we'll show you what else we're going to add to it. Okay, we're ready. Onion, garlic. This is two cloves of garlic and 1 onion. Diced up. Probably be the whole head when we're done, but that's for a different group. And we're gonna saute these until they're translucent. And how about this? The other night we were down to the Jazz Festival. The Stoli girls were there giving out free lemonades made with Stoli, and since they were free, I said, yeah, can you get as many as you want? They said, yeah. So how about filling them up? And need I say any more? Good time. Good time was had by all. Okay, this is going to saute probably 2 or 3 minutes. And then I'll add the... Okay, now that these are translucent, I don't know if you can see in there. Can we see? No, we can't. There, I should have showed you that before. And that's about 2 minutes, 3 minutes. And now we're gonna add the sauce, man. And it's gonna turn into sauce when it's done. Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna add 2 of these. And I did not scrape the scrapings. I left them in the pot from the pork chops. They're gonna add nice flavor. In fact, I'm going to get the scrape because I use 2 pans, so I'll get the scrapings from that one also. And let me get this there. Okay, pardon the mess. Well, these guys are going to be happy. Don't be fooled by the container. This is fresh parsley from the yard. I'd say a good tablespoon. And then we got some fresh basil from the yard. I'd say a good tablespoon. And then we have some fresh Parmesan Reggiano, not from the yard, from the local meat market. And About that much. What's that? A little bit like a tablespoon? This stuff is so fresh though, it's just breaking up. I shouldn't say fresh, but dry, just the way we like it. Good tablespoon. You can even add more. Don't be afraid to add more of your cheeses and ingredients. I mean, you could put too much in, but I won't worry about it. And then a good teaspoon of pink Himalayan pink salt. Any type of salt that you would like, in other words. I would say about a teaspoon, 2 teaspoons. And then a teaspoon of sugar. Be back. Yeah, your teaspoon of sugar. You may end up adding more. That's to your taste. And more. Another reason why you may be adding more, if you're doing it the way I'm doing it, is we're going to add a little bit of red wine vinegar. Since we don't have the red wine, but this is homemade red wine vinegar. So we're adding about a 1/4 cup. And we'll stir this around now. And the sugar will help nasate the acid from the vinegar. So you'll get basically the red wine taste. And the alcohol burns off, so you won't get drunk. But if you sit down and drink that there vinegar, you cop a nice little buzz. It won't taste good. It'll taste like vinegar. It goes great on sandwiches. Now we're going to add... I'm going to add the meat back to this. I'm going to add 2 pieces of meat. One. There, if you see them. And I did salt and pepper these. There, is that there in the picture, I hope? And we're going to add just 2. Now, if you're going to do a gallon, which is another, depending on your size of your family, and if you're doing it for yourself, you can even add another piece of meat or not. And then you let this cook for about an hour, 2 hours at the max. I don't know if I add a black pepper. I don't think I did because it's over here. You want to add about a teaspoon of black pepper. Maybe even 2 teaspoons. I like black pepper. Now, you can also add a teaspoon of red pepper flakes. I don't know if I'm going to put that in these because when I do it for my house, I'm the only one that likes it. But usually if I don't say anything, they don't notice to say it's delicious. Oh, this is delicious. Oh, what'd you do? I didn't do anything. And I think basically that is it for your basic classic homemade spaghetti sauce. Right? I put the garlic, I put the onion, a little basil, parsley, black pepper, salt, a teaspoon of sugar. I sauteed the pork chops in the olive oil. I didn't have any red wine, but I added red wine vinegar. I don't think that's gonna matter much at all. Let this cook for about an hour or 2. And if you like it thicker, you can add tomato paste. If you don't need to add tomato paste. The tomato paste will just thicken it. Usually when I buy tomato paste, I bought this big can. I don't know if I'm going to use it, but I figured for 2 gallons you might need it. But I usually purchase it. The ingredients is just tomatoes and citric acid for your preservative. I don't get the added ingredients because I'm adding my own ingredients. And this is the Know Nothing cook coming to you from his Know Nothing kitchen. I want to thank you for this opportunity to make this little classic recipe for you. And also, don't be afraid to make variations of this classic recipe. Sorry here, I'm all messed up. You can do this with chicken legs, chicken thighs, sausage. You can make the pork and the chicken together, give them a flavor. You can just do sausage if you want. If you do all 3 of them, then you're really getting into like a lot going on in there. But there's just so much you can do, and don't be afraid to try it. And I thank you. I hope you enjoyed this, and we'll hope to see you again shortly.